Blood splattered across the training ground as Officer James Collins screamed in agony, his own K-9 partner's teeth sunk deep into his forearm. 1 second they were completing a routine obstacle course, the next, chaos. Max, the department's most decorated German Shepherd, had suddenly transformed from loyal partner to vicious attacker. "Get him off! Get him off!" Officer Wilson shouted, rushing toward the scene as James fell to his knees, his face contorted in shock and pain. 3 officers tackled Max, struggling to separate the 90-pound shepherd from his handler. Even as they pulled him away, Max continued lunging forward, barking aggressively, his eyes wild and focused. "What the hell just happened?" Captain Rodriguez demanded, kneeling beside James as medics rushed to stop the bleeding. Nobody had an answer. For 6 years, Max had been exemplary: 15 drug busts, 7 missing person rescues, 3 takedowns of armed suspects. Not once had he shown aggression toward any officer, let alone his handler. "Contain that dog and secure the scene," Rodriguez ordered, his voice tight with tension. "And someone get that footage from the security cameras." As James was loaded into an ambulance, his eyes reflected not just physical pain but profound betrayal. Max had been sedated and placed in a holding kennel, his fate suddenly uncertain. By evening the department had split into factions. The senior officers were already preparing euthanasia paperwork. "We can't risk another incident," they argued. "The dog is unpredictable and dangerous." Only Wilson stood firm, "Something's not right. Max wouldn't do this without reason." Captain Rodriguez sighed heavily. "You've got 48 hours to prove it. After that, we do what needs to be done." Officer Wilson sat alone in the records room, scrolling through Max's medical files on her tablet. The veterinary reports from the past month showed subtle changes. Slight weight loss, increased alertness, distracted behavior during training sessions. Nothing that would trigger serious concern, but together they formed a pattern. "He knew something was wrong," she muttered, reaching for her coffee. The department veterinarian, Dr. Rivera, confirmed her suspicions. "Max has been more agitated during his last 2 checkups. I assumed it was stress from their increased caseload." Wilson nodded grimly. "I need to see the security footage." The initial camera angle showed exactly what everyone witnessed. Max suddenly turning on James without provocation. Wilson watched it 7 times, her frustration mounting with each viewing. On the 8th replay she noticed something. Just before the attack, Max's ears shifted focus. He wasn't looking at James. "There's got to be another camera," she said, calling the security office. "I need the west angle footage." When the file arrived, Wilson's breath caught. This view captured what the main camera missed. Max wasn't looking at James before lunging. He was staring at something off-screen. "I need an expert opinion," Wilson decided, downloading the footage onto a portable drive. Sandra Martinez, the department's K-9 training specialist, reviewed the video in silence. After the 3rd replay she paused the frame. "That's not aggression toward his handler," she said slowly. "Look at his body position. Max isn't attacking James, he's trying to pull him away from something." Wilson felt a chill. "But what?" "Whatever it is," Sandra replied, "we have less than 36 hours to find it." "Enhance the corner of the frame," Wilson instructed the tech specialist. "There, freeze it." The enhanced footage revealed a figure partially visible at the edge of the training yard. A man in maintenance coveralls watching the K-9 training. "Who's that?" Wilson asked. The tech ran the image through facial recognition. "Frank Delgado. Started 3 weeks ago as a maintenance contractor." Something about the name nagged at Wilson. She ran a background check, and her stomach dropped when the results appeared. "These credentials are fake," she said, reading further. "His real name is Marco Escobar." Sandra gasped. "From the Barrio Kings cartel?" Wilson nodded grimly. 3 years ago, James and Max intercepted a shipment worth $11 million. They were the primary witnesses that put Escobar's brother away for 20 years. They scoured additional security footage, tracking Delgado's movements throughout the facility over the past weeks. The pattern was unmistakable. He had been watching James and Max, studying their routines. "Look at this," the tech called out, zooming in on footage from the attack. Right before Max lunged, Delgado makes this movement. The man's hand shifted subtly toward his pocket. "Can we enhance the audio?" Wilson asked. The technician isolated the sound channels. "There's something here, a high-frequency tone just before the incident." Sandra's eyes widened. Ultrasonic dog whistle. Painful to canines but undetectable to humans. The pieces suddenly fit together. Max's recent behavior changes. His agitation. The seemingly unprovoked attack. He wasn't attacking James, Wilson realized, her voice breaking. He was trying to drag him away from what he perceived as danger. They reviewed the footage again, this time understanding what they were seeing. Max hadn't gone for James's throat or face, killing bites. He'd clamped onto his arm, pulling him away from Delgado's direction. Max was trying to save him, Sandra whispered. He was willing to be labeled dangerous, even put down, to protect his handler. Wilson grabbed her phone. We need to secure the hospital. James isn't safe and neither is Max. Captain, we need to stop the euthanasia. Wilson burst into Rodriguez's office, tablet in hand. Rodriguez frowned. The paperwork's already processed. It's scheduled for 7 a.m. tomorrow. Max is innocent, Wilson insisted, placing the tablet on his desk. He wasn't attacking, he was protecting. The captain watched the enhanced footage, his expression gradually shifting from skepticism to concern. Where's Delgado now? Gone. Hasn't clocked in since the incident. A call to hospital security confirmed their worst fears. A maintenance worker matching Delgado's description had been spotted near James's room just an hour earlier, claiming to be checking air vents. Lock down Officer Collins's room immediately, Rodriguez ordered into the phone. No one enters without police verification. The forensics team discovered the ultrasonic device hidden in a sprinkler head near the training yard. The frequency was calibrated to cause maximum distress to dogs without affecting humans. The perfect way to make a K9 look unstable, Sandra noted grimly. Hospital security footage showed Delgado walking confidently through the corridors, a maintenance cart concealing what appeared to be a weapon. He's finishing what his brother couldn't, Wilson said. This was never just about revenge. James could still identify other cartel members who were never caught. Rodriguez mobilized a tactical team to secure the hospital while Wilson sped to the K9 facility. The veterinarian was already preparing the euthanasia drugs when she arrived. Stop. By order of Captain Rodriguez, she shouted, thrusting the official document into the vet's hands. Max watched her from his kennel, alert but calm. When Wilson approached, he whined softly, pressing his nose against the gate. You were trying to save him all along, Wilson whispered, unlocking the kennel. And now it's time to finish the job. He's asking for his dog, the nurse reported as Wilson arrived at the hospital, Max leashed tightly beside her. Behind the protective police barrier, James sat propped up in bed, his arm heavily bandaged. His face lit up when he saw Max, despite the doctor's concerned expressions. Are you sure about this, Officer Collins? The doctor asked. That dog nearly severed your brachial artery. He saved my life, James replied firmly. Let him in. The room fell silent as Wilson cautiously led Max forward. The German Shepherd approached the bed slowly, ears back, his eyes never leaving James's face. When he reached the bedside, Max gently sniffed the bandaged arm, then lowered his head and licked it softly. He wasn't attacking you, Sandra explained, showing James the footage on her tablet. That sound would have been excruciating to him, but he still tried to pull you away from danger rather than run. 2 weeks later, Delgado was apprehended trying to cross the Canadian border. The evidence Max had helped uncover years earlier provided the final connections to dismantle the remainder of the cartel's operation. At the department ceremony the following month, Max received a special commendation for protecting his handler at risk to his own life and reputation. People ask how I can trust him after what happened, James told the assembled officers, his hand resting on Max's head. The truth is, I trust him more. He wasn't betraying me, he was willing to be destroyed to save my life. As they walked back to the patrol car together, their steps were perfectly in sync once more.